Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It On. Now we're going to buff up before we proceed, since we don't know what's waiting for us.
Rely on me.
I will lend you my aid.
Oh, yes, what? Yes.
My will is resolute.
You require my unbiased opinion?
Let me help.
Now I think there is an argument to be made to use Reduced Person on Areelu, since she only has the +1 modifier on her strength. But that is one extra damage that we could potentially be doing that I don't want to lose, so I'm not going to.
Meditate on your mistakes. It might make you feel
Anything new?
Oh, we need to organize this. Get rid of all the spells real fast. All the toggleables at the end. Get rid of that. Alright, that's one of her abilities, and that's one of her abilities. Alright. 5 minutes later, and we're ready to begin the episode. Let's rock and roll. Alright, we're on the north side, so taking any north doors should be a safe bet, as far as dead ends are concerned. The look of this device provokes a shudder of horror. It's not clear what kind of experiment it was used in, but it's unlikely they were pleasant for the subject.
I'll go ahead.
I don't know, he seems pretty relaxed to me. Cloak of the Ancient Herald. What do you do? Ooh, flavor text. This cloak once belonged to a shabty known as Clement, a devotee of the old gods of Osirian. Despite opposition from both Kelishite leadership and traditional members of the Old Faith, Clement built a modest following preaching his version of the faith, one that had been updated for modern times. This cloak bears the iconography of the movement, a solar eclipse, as the eclipse reveals the sun's corona, a hidden truth that is always present though often obscured. The movement aimed to reveal the unseen aspects of their gods. While wearing this cloak, the priest was known for his terrible presence. He could overwhelm onlookers with a glance, or inspire others to fearful action. Eventually, Clement became convinced that he had a greater destiny, and left his movement, disappearing from Galarian. This cloak was thought lost with him. How it came to be in the world wound is unknown. Whenever the wearer of this cloak channels energy to heal, the wearer gains a +2 bonus to persuasion skill checks, and the save DC of spells with the compulsion descriptor they cast is increased by 2. This effect lasts the number of rounds equal to the character's level. Whenever the wearer of this cloak channels energy to harm, the affected creatures have to pass a will saving throw or be dazed for 1 round. And then some math. So it doesn't act as a cloak of resistance, so I already don't like it. But I guess if you wanted to turn a cleric like Sociel or Darren into a dazzling display bot, you could. Just have him cycle between channeling energy and dazzling display. I don't know. I like my saving throws. It'd be a hard sell for me.
Are we ready to move out?
the goddess.
That's what I'm thinking about. It's gonna swap to the glaive.
We will win. We are the light. They are the darkness.
Let's try this way.
I will resist.
No glory without risk.
Well, shadow demons. What makes him so special?
Into the fray!
This will hurt.
Hang in there, Sela. Whoops, if I keep attacking this guy, please.
Treason.
You crossed the wrong mark.
You're irrelevant. I'll remove this obstacle.
Did you see that?
See, I knew he was special. He teleported away. And he was a slightly different color than the rest of them. Can't fool me, game. Speed, cold, iron, rapier, +3. Speed is one of my favorite modifiers in a weapon. It basically gives you the haste effect without having to cast haste.
Search for the
You don't get like the
blue
armor
of your
class and stuff with the
Not
movement
your
speed, but you get
eyes.
the extra attack per round, which is really
No
nice.
reason to pause. This was simple enough.
The sign says Old Wing.
Together we stand.
The world has suffered enough.
Oh, nope, not what I wanted to do. Let's go get back. Tila intercept. I was gonna try and shoot a fireball in there, but I misclicked. Well, I don't think I misclicked. It's just the way the his enlarged size and environment works. Oh well, we'll make it work. A bunch of rats anyway. Oh, the acid effect from Tila's weapon is probably really good against swarms.
A calculated risk.
We got our Babao from Socio's Glade.
Prepare yourself.
This should do it.
Go away. Ancient scrap of script-covered leather. So that is an item from Kingmaker. I think you had to find, was it 16 pieces of this or something absurd? I think it was probably like 10. No, I think this is the one that had 16. You start finding pieces of this like really early on. And it was a cursed item. I think it reduced like your physical attributes, but boosted some of your mental. And I think it also buffed your summons. I think it was the only cursed item in the game as well. You actually had to use remove curse to take off. And if you took it off without remove curse, it would summon a demon you had to fight. Or maybe it's summon the demon if you use remove curse. I don't remember. I know I sometimes got this one mixed up with the rune covered leather, which was the barbarian armor that lets you turn to a Smilenon, I think. Either way, having flashbacks, some PTSD
Follow
from
my
the darn artifacts from Kingmaker.
It went splendidly.
This device was likely used in experiments on demons. You don't say. The demon strapped to it didn't give it away? Alright, so that's a new location. We're not going to go that way yet. Just exploring up here first.
I will help where I can.
I will defend my dream.
I'll let this guy come to me. Terry!
Disappear.
Yeah, suck on that, Terry.
Do not fear. Do not waver. The inheritor. Guide my blade.
Listen to reason.
Begone, fiend!
This will leave a bruise.
Oh man, Sela's getting messed up. I was not
bright
paying any
future
attention to her
awaits
health.
us.
Oh, whoopsies. Nope, don't equip that, just use it.
Are we in trouble yet? My will is resolute. I'm all ears.
Alright, so carnivorous crystals. Neutral aberrations. Okay.
A success worthy of praise.
It isn't clear if this breach appeared while the laboratory was still in use, or after its abandonment. But the scratch marks and bloodstains around the edge indicate it may have been tried as a potential escape route. Gonna quick save again. Sela's taking a beating for the day.
Rely on me.
Experiment the suture crystal. Areelu Vorlash used these and other similar crystals to keep a lab journal and record notes on her experiments. A pair of symbols on a facet at the bottom of the crystal indicates what precisely has been recorded in the crystal. So what if we go back and use that in that machine? We watched that hologram earlier. Expedition boots. Why, we're on an expedition. What do they do? Well, these boots grant the wearer a plus 10 competence bonus on athletic skill checks and a plus 5 competence bonus on mobility skill checks. I'm tempted to give these to my cavalier, since mounted combat requires mobility skill checks to avoid taking damage, but I don't use athletics with my main character. So I think this would be better utilized on Lan, since he's had some trouble in the past passing some athletics and mobility skill checks, and when he fails those, it hurts my whole party. So some Elven notes for the storyteller.
As it should be.
And I guess we'll go back this chamber here and see if we can use that crystal. See what story it has to tell.
That is not far.
Before you use some kind of magical device, it looks old and broken. A large oddly shaped crystal is wedged tightly into a slot in the device. Touch the crystal.
Day 16. Abadius 4662.
That's the same thing. Okay, so we can't insert the other thing. It does say it was broken, right? So maybe it's just... We'll find another one that we can slap our new crystal into.
We will win this war.
On Midnight Bolts. Hey, we have one of those. Without the material supplied by the client, the creation of new Midnight Bolts is impossible. However, significant progress has been made in the matter of improving existing bolts. Bolts must be tested in the field. The upcoming celebrations in Canabris may be the best venue for a trial run. That's right, was it the gnome that was actually Suture in Disguise gave us the crossbow that we shot at Discari, which had the Midnight Bolt in it. So I wonder if we need to use that to kill Discari. Oh, so there's another one over here. Yes, I wonder if we need to use that to kill Discari, or if it's like an alternate way to kill Discari. I'll hold on to him just in case, because you never know. A vessel resembling an outlandish jug seems to have been hewn from a huge block of solid crystal. Veins of bright purple running through the crystal pulse with light. A crimson droplet falls on it, triggering a vibration deep inside. You look down and see a scarlet stain blooming on your chest. Your wound has reopened, in the blink of an eye. Yeah, examine the vessel. Presumably, the object before you is a magical repository for a soul, similar to those used in various evil spells. However, this artifact is different to all the ones you've seen before. You cannot fully identify its properties. One thing you can say for sure, it is currently empty. Yeah, let's take it. You reach forward to touch the vessel when suddenly it trembles, and with a gentle sigh, crumbles to dust. Didn't want it anyway. Probably bad
I'll go
news.
ahead.
No reason to pause. Lead
Something
on.
over there.
Call me again if you need to.
Skullberry pie. Scribbled page from Areelu's laboratory. The fight for Canabras marked the beginning of the Fifth Crusade. The next objective is Dresden. Once the capital of the Crusader movement, and now a demon citadel. Who will win? It is an equation with an infinite number of unknowns. The finest military minds failed to bring an end to this war, but a new leader now stands in command, one different from all the others. And perhaps this new variable will produce a different result. Well, I hope so. Assuming they are talking about the Crusader side, and me as the new variable. Well, the cave-in looks like it happened a long time ago. The rock... excuse me. The rocks and rubble have been compressed... Excuse me, my throat's acting up. The cave-in looks like it happened a long time ago. Rocks and rubble have been compressed almost into a single mass. Like metamorphic rock. To the heart of the laboratory. Oh, that sounds like the way forward. Tortured Angel, Exhausted Elf, Old Crusader, and Drowsy Druid.
Follow my lead.
This is like a tavern name. Welcome to the Drowsy Druid. What can I get you? Alright, let's actually position ourselves in case this is a fight.
We stand.
Never be too careful. Behind the barrier, frozen in what seems like a weakly glowing liquid or magical glimmer, is a woman with a long silvery hair. At her back, you can see a single white wing, some kind of dark, broken shadow. Haggard figures huddle around the woman. A dwarf in a ragged robe scarcely notices you. He sits on the floor, running his fingers over the leaves of the plant that is growing between the slabs, like one would normally stroke a beloved cat or dog. And next to him is the unmoving figure of an elf, who's covered in scars. He doesn't take his eyes off you. The third member of the group is an old man, with a long straggly beard, who's dressed in old armor. He turns quickly to face you, brandishing a rusty sword. Who are you? Another conniving wretch who serves a traitor? Don't come any closer. Yeah, let's do our mythic path. Please, friend, calm yourself. I brought the wind of spring and freedom into this dungeon. I'm going to get you out of here. The old man shakes his head in surprise. Oh my, you're from the Desnants, I suppose. Someone from the good gods has finally come for us. The elf, who has been silent up to now, stands and says, "So you're the foolhardy soul who's ended up here. Who are you?" We're the only survivors. The only ones apart from the monsters and demons, I mean. The old fellow is a crusader. He ended up here accidentally around 20 years ago. He camped out in the ruins of the house, found the magic door, and came through it. But of course, he couldn't get out again. I'm one of the last to have been brought here by Areelu herself. She literally dragged me out of the demon's jaws, and I don't even know what she wanted me for. She kept me in a magical sleep most of the time, and then she lost interest in the laboratory. Aren't elves immune to magical sleep? Is this supposed to let us know how powerful Areelu is? She can overcome racial immunities? And the druid, the one making friends with the plants and the roots. He's been here since the very beginning. I think he's from Sarkoris, but he's half mad and wasn't a talker even back when I first met him, so we don't know his name or any other details about him. He grows food for us, and he doesn't talk. He's the best neighbor you could hope for. The elf chuckles bitterly. Areelu left people alive down here. She just abandoned the place. That's right. She opened the cages but sealed the way out from the outside. What else are you expecting from the architect of the world wound? Compassion and mercy? Sometimes I think that leaving us here was just another one of her experiments, and we're just rats in a maze. I really, really hate people who lock other people away in cages. Sitting locked up is the worst thing ever. This architect is a bad, bad person. We need to help everybody who's still in here. So you've tried to get out of here. Countless times. By whatever means we could think of. Nothing worked. Maybe if we had had a powerful cleric or spellcaster among us. Then again, seems unlikely if Areelu imprisoned an actual angel down here so easily, doesn't it? The elf nods towards the unmoving winged woman. We can't even explore the whole laboratory. Some of the passages are blocked by barriers that only let demons through. How have you survived all this time? With difficulty. There were more of us before, subjects of Areelu's experiments. Mortals and demons and other abominations. When she left, and we were all freed, it was chaos. The demons killed everyone they could, then they turned on each other. The mortals who survived set up a base here. The druid grew food for us, the others kept the demons at bay, and tried to find the way out. New arrivals would appear rarely, unlucky travelers, or reckless adventurers who ended up here by accident. As you can see, we're the only ones who survived. I point at the angel. What's wrong with her? We found her like this, and we couldn't break through the barrier. She must be sleeping, or at least immobilized. We called her the Protectress, a priest from before he came up with the name. He used to be one of our brotherhood here, until the demons got him about 7 years back. We call her the Protectress because the angel's aura, even caged, protects us from the demons. This place is still crawling with them. We try not to stray too far from her. She's all that's keeping us alive now. Can you tell me anything useful about this place? It might just be wishful thinking, but I guess that there is some way to get through those barriers blocking us. We tested them so many times. They only allow full-blooded demons to pass through them. Except, the barriers were here long before Areelu abandoned the lab, which means that she was able to walk through them somehow. Maybe she had a key that we can look for. Who knows? There's one more thing. I've heard the demons, the sentient ones, mention something called the Lexicon of Paradox. I don't know what it is. They talked about it like it was an artifact of some kind, a relic. In other words, something valuable. So it's possible that it could help us get out of here. I don't have the slightest idea what it is or where to look for it. I'm not going to sit here doing nothing. There's gotta be a way out of this place. The angel is surrounded by a powerful magical barrier. Perhaps there is something in the laboratory that can destroy it. Alright, let's go back to the old wing first, where we enter the heart of the laboratory. Go and take your time, everybody. We're in no hurry.
I will help where I can.
Old mongrel.
That is not far.
A bright future awaits us.
You look at the figure dressed in rags, and after some difficulty, you recognize that it is an old mongrel. A few exposed areas of skin are covered in horrific burns. Grotesque, twitching appendages look like a cross between tentacles and umbilical cords are latched onto him. The mongrel gives a quiet groan. Who's there? It's been so long since I heard another living voice. We're on your side. Don't be afraid, old man. We're not going to hurt you. Who are you? I've been here so long I don't remember my own name. I lived in the caves, beneath Canabras, but I was drawn to the surface, so one day my friends and I decided to venture up there. I was the only one who made it all the way, but when I emerged, I was met by a pack of inquisitors. They thought I was a demon. Burn the demon. Death to demons. Fire. All I can remember is fire. How blind we are. We judge by appearance, and we do not even know what true beauty or true ugliness is. Oh, Shaylin, why did you not grant us empathy and insight? Forgive me, stranger. You seem weak, and I do not know how to help you. I think your death is near. Would you like to unburden your soul before it is sent to Pharasma? I will hear your confession. I've been waiting for my death for a long time. I've made my last confession to these silent walls 1,000 times before. I have nothing else to add now. Thank you for offering. Did Areelu do this to you? Areelu? Yes, I remember her. She took me from the pyre, what was left of me. She brought me here. She treated my wounds, took my blood for her experiments on mutations, but she went away. I've not seen her here in a long time. Lan, do you know him? Lan looks mournfully at his fellow mongrel. No, he's clearly well over 40 years old. I've only seen 3 or 4 mongrels as old as this before. I fear he's beyond helping Don Quixote. He might not survive it if we free him. The old mongrel struggles to speak, his voice a low whisper. Better to die free, lad. Same option. But I assume it's different alignment options. Whoever you are, I'll set you free. Keeping a living being in captivity is unacceptable. Freed from the appendages, the mongrel slowly, very slowly rubs his hands. Then he raises his eyes to you. You Crusader, did you never consider that some of those witches burned on the pyre were the real thing? Lord Baphomet, I offer up this worthy sacrifice to you.
They will break against our resolve.
You
Why
won't
you just sign your death warrant,
survive
buddy?
me.
Pick the wrong fight, Buster.
Into the fray!
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
We will win this war.
Let that be a lesson to you. Don't be a jerk. Even if you're evil, you don't want to be strapped in here and dying.
Rely on me.
Nope.
No reason
Please
to
get up here,
pause.
Sela.
No time for
The
debates.
light.
Alright, let's do this. Let's try and blind him.
Your true inheritor, guide my blade.
Set your cadaver.
Alright, this is probably a good place to call it. Next episode, we'll continue exploring the laboratory. Looks like we still have a lot to do. Well, if it's like the first floor, it's probably just a bunch of narrow passages with some rooms off to the side. But still, we have this area, then we have the heart of the laboratory to go through. So, we're going to be here for a little bit, it looks like. Either way, I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.